Wildflower Pilates, and if you are new to Pilates, this video is for you. We are going to start from the beginning, start from the basics, and then we'll build you up from there. But this video is going to be nice and gentle. We'll get the whole body moving. You'll still be feeling it, but in a very supportive way. So if you are coming with me, we're going to start on your back. So just sitting down on your mat, coming down. We're going to start with some bridges. So feet are hip width apart, hands are by your side. Take a nice big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to tuck your bottom under. We're going to roll the hips up to the ceiling and then roll your back down onto the mat. And then continue like that. So a little roll up, trying to lift the hips up, pressing your feet into the mat, and then rolling your back down. Nice big deep breaths as you move, just finding that roll, like you've got a bit of Velcro on your back and you're peeling it off one bit at a time and then sticking it back on one bit at a time. So you're finding that movement through the pelvis and just feeling what the body is doing. So we're trying to be aware of how the body's moving through the shapes. So really trying to find that roll. Nice. Squishing your back down into the mat, lifting it up, rolling it back down. Nice. Let's go 2 more like that. Last one. And then rolling all the way back down. We're going to hug your knees into your chest and just curl your chin up to your chest. And I want you to feel what it feels like to have your back squishing down into the mat. So we're going to try and keep that shape. We're going to call it a C curve so that you're in like a little C shape with your back squished down into the mat. Popping your hands behind your head. We're going to pull our feet up so they're in line with your knees. Staying in that nice round shape, squishing your back down into the mat. We're going to drop one toe down, pick it back up. Other toe down, picking it back up. So the whole time we're trying to think about really squishing your back down into the mat as much as you can. Awesome. And just tapping the toes one at a time. Trying to stay nice and curled up. So working through the core here, through your hip flexors to move the legs, and just establishing how it feels to really try and push your back down into the mat. So this might be feeling pretty good. Stay here if this is enough. If you're going to come with me, we're trying to go both toes down, lift both toes up. Both toes down, lift both toes up. Keep that squish into the mat as best you can. Nice. We're going to go for another 4. And 3. 2. And 1. And then you can pop your feet back down onto the mat. So hip width apart, hands are coming back down onto the mat. This time we're going back into a bridge, same thing. So we're rolling up, hips are lifting. I want you to squeeze your butt at the top and then roll back down again. And we're rolling up, squeezing your butt, try and get a little higher. So we're trying to work through the back of your body now. Trying to maybe get that little bit more height out of the bridge. So those lower back muscles are working to try and get that little bit more out of it. Awesome. So Pilates is great for your core. as you probably have heard. But your core means everything, right? Like it's your whole upper midsection. So front and back. So we want to try and work through the front of your like cupping muscles and through your spinal extensors, which is through your back. We're going to go 2 more like this. Last one. Rolling all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. And we're going to curl on up. All right, we're just going to go for single leg stretch. So same thing as before. You're trying to squish your back down into the mat as much as you can. One leg's going to come out long in front of you. Other knee's pulling into your chest. And then we're switching. And switching. And when we start Pilates, it's very common to feel your neck muscles when we're doing this ab work. That's normal. We're working your neck muscles just as much as we're working your abs. So I know that it can be uncomfortable though, but I want you to try and work it for as long as you can. And then if you need to, you can either support your head with your hands or just let your head rest down. But having that knowledge that we are trying to build up that neck strength as well might help you just be able to stick into it a little bit longer. We're just going to go for 2 more. And then bring your knees back in, feet back down, and let's roll onto your right hand side for me. So we're going to go head resting in your hand. Knees are stacked on top of each other. And we're going like a 45-degree angle from your hip to your knees. And then I want you to pull your feet in underneath you. Top hands coming behind your head as well. And we're just going to lift up that top knee. Feet are staying connected. So it's a little clamshell. If you think about a clam opening, that's where we're going with this one. So trying to keep the toes connected, lifting that top knee up, bringing it back down. So we're working through the hip and the glute here. Trying to open the knee as much as you can without moving the rest of your body. Awesome. So nice and deep breath. Perfect. We're going to go for another 4. And 3. 2. And 1. And then we're going to see if we can lift the feet up off the mat and do the same thing. So now maybe you can open that knee a little higher, bring it back down. A little higher, bring it back down. So we're taking away a point of balance, so it can feel a little bit more wobbly, and that's okay. If you need to pop your hand down on the mat, you can. But know that we're working the muscles and we're trying to stay balanced too. So if you can manage it, we're trying to stay there. We're just going to go for another 4. Working through those glutes. And 3. 2. And 1. Bring it all the way down. Give it a little tap out if you need. Keeping the legs where they are. So we're trying to keep the top leg in the same shape, but now the toes aren't staying connected. So everything's lifting, coming back down. Everything's lifting, coming back down. So the foot is staying in line with the knee, and the leg is staying in line with the bottom leg. Perfect. Working through that glute. I'm sure you're feeling it by now. We're going for another 4. And 3. 2. And 1. And then we're going to straighten the legs out. Now we're going to kick this top leg up towards your head. So your foot is coming towards your head. The leg's rotating in your hip socket. And we're kicking it up. little bounce, bringing it back down. Little bounce, and back in. Nice. We're just going to go for another 4 here. And 3, 2, and 1. And then bringing those legs back together. Bending through the knees again. We're going to pop ourselves up onto your forearm. Hand's going to come to your hip. All right, big breath in. And then as you breathe out, you're trying to lift your hips up. And then bring them back down. Lifting your hips up, bringing them back down. So we're trying to now work through your obliques, which is your waist muscles. So I want you to think about trying to lift up through there, try and lift this top hip up to the ceiling. Nice. All right, so if this is feeling pretty good and you want a little bit more, we're going to now move our knees back in line with your hips. So see how I'm in a bit more of a straight line now, pressing your knees into the mat. We're trying to lift up and then come back down. So just changing that position a little bit makes it a little bit more tricky. It gets pretty heavy in the arm and the shoulder. So making sure that elbow's underneath your shoulder so you've got a good base of support to lift up from. Nice big deep breaths. We're going for another 4. And we're going to hold it in 3. Lift those hips as high as you can. 2. On the next one, let's lift it up. Let's hold it. Maybe you can reach that top hand up to the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way down. Roll onto your tummy. Hands are going to come underneath your shoulders. And we're just going to press up as much as you feel comfortable. And then rolling back down. And pressing up as much as you feel comfortable. Rolling back down. So we're working into as much extension as you feel like you can, with the ultimate goal being to have straight arms looking up to the ceiling. And coming back down. Big deep breaths. Trying to push away from the mat. So we're not sinking into the back bend, we're lifting up out of it. 1 more. And then you're going to see if you can push yourself all the way back so your bottom's coming to your heels. Have a little second there. And then we're going to come onto all 4s. So we're going to start with a very basic push-up. You're staying on all 4s. Elbows are going to try and stay in tight, but if they flare out, that's okay for now. We're going to see if we can just bend our elbows a little bit and then come back up. Bend our elbows a little bit. Maybe you can kiss the mat. Maybe that seems like it's really far away. Wherever it is for you, we're just going to go for another 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, trying to keep your chest over your hands. And the last one. Nice work. Sit back on your heels. And then we're going to roll around to the other side. So we'll be on our left-hand side now. Head is resting in your hands. Knees are bent. We're at that 45-degree angle. Top hand's coming behind your head. Feet are staying connected, so toes are staying connected. We're opening that top knee up, closing it back down. Opening it up, closing it down. Trying to find as much lift as you can without rolling the hips around. So the rest of your body's staying nice and still. We're just trying to lift and lower. going for another 4. And then we're going to elevate those feet in 3. And 2. Last one. Lifting the feet up, hovering them. And now we're lifting that top knee up, bringing it back down. Lifting it up, bringing it down. Trying to get it as high as you can without moving anything else. That's part of the challenge. Remembering that if you need to bring that top hand down, that is totally fine. You can. And it starts to feel the burn after a little bit. We're going to go for another 4 and 3, 2. Maybe on this last one you can lift it a little higher. Nice. And then bring it down. You're going to keep your knees stacked. We're lifting up. We're coming down. We're lifting up. We're coming down. So you're trying to keep that top leg in line with the bottom leg. And foot is trying to stay in line with your knee. Nice. Nice big deep breaths. Working through that glute, working through that hip. Awesome. We're going for another 4. And 3, 2, and 1. And then both legs are going to come out long. We're kicking that top leg up to the ceiling, bring it back down. Kicking it up, bring it down. Nice big kicks. Awesome. Trying to get your foot towards your head so that leg is rotating in that hip socket. Maybe it gets that little bit higher every time. Awesome. We're going for another 3. And 2. Last one. Bring it all the way down. Bending through those knees. We're pushing ourselves up, finding your elbow underneath your shoulder. Top hands coming to your hips. And we're just going to see if we can lift the hips up, bring them back down. Lift them up, bring them back down. Nice work. So trying to get as much lift as you can through that top hip. Perfect. All right, so option to stay there if that was enough, or if you did it on the other side, we're trying to straighten up now. So your knees are trying to come in line with your hips, and then we're trying to lift up here and come back down. Lift up, making sure that elbow is underneath your shoulder to try and get as much lift as you can. Awesome. We're going to go for another 4. And 3, 2. On this next one, we're going to hold it up there. Hold that side bend. Lift your top hand up. See if you can get a little higher for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way down. We're going to turn back around onto all fours for me. So knees are underneath your hips, hands are underneath your shoulders. You're just going to round your back, looking at your knees. And then arch your back, looking up at the ceiling. Nice. Big shapes here. I like to call this happy cat, sad cat. So when you're in your arch shape, you're like a happy cat. And when you're in your round shape, like a sad cat. Really trying to puff your shirt up to the ceiling. And then looking all the way up. Let's go one more like that. And then we'll bring your knees together for me. Let both hips drop over to one side, looking over the opposite shoulder. And then coming back through the middle, over to the other side. So we're just trying to stretch out those glutes that we just worked through that little side lying series. So you can pull your butt back towards your heels a little bit. You might find that you get a little bit of a deeper stretch there. This is one of my favorites, which if you watch more videos, you'll probably figure out pretty quickly. We pretty much do it in every class. Let's go one more each side. And then we'll come back to the middle. Bring your knees back underneath your hips. Right arm's going to reach up to the ceiling. And we're just going to find a little twist here. So it's going to come through the gap between your hand and your knees. And then reach all the way back up to the ceiling. And finding that twist. And reaching all the way back up. Let's go 2 more. Find that twist. As much as you can, look under that arm. Open right up to the ceiling. Last one. And lifting all the way up. And then pop that hand back down. Lifting the other arm up. Diving it through. Find that twist. Look under your arm. And then reaching all the way back up again. And all the way through. Finding the twist. Looking back up. 2 more. Last one. All the way up, and then you can pop your hand back down onto the mat. Tuck your toes under. We're coming up into a pike shape. So this is our pike. You might know it as downward dog, but Pilates terms, it's pike. You're going to pedal out your heels, so one heel pressing down to the mat, and then the other. Find that stretch down the back of your legs. And then we'll walk your feet up towards your hands. Have a little dangle, little rock from side to side. And then rolling all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your arms all the way up. And we'll just have a little side roll. And then up and over to the other side. And then up through the middle, and you can shake it out. Nice work. If that was your first Pilates class, well done. If it wasn't, still well done. Thank you for watching and joining in, and there's plenty more videos for you to keep building up your practice and getting stronger and more flexible. So let me know if you'd like to know which video to do next. Leave a comment. Happy to help you out with your Pilates journey. But if you did like it, please like and subscribe to my channel so I can keep delivering Pilates videos to you so you can keep doing the things you love forever. Thank you.